Hello everybody, welcome to Tips from My Cottage. I'm Charles Matthew, welcome. Hope we can cover some things that might be of value to someone out there. This time I'd like to talk about emergency preparedness. Now I'm not going to approach this from the extreme hysterical point of view that so many people seem to be infatuated with, but everyone would be very wise to have some type of emergency preparedness, at least some ideas. Even if in the case of, say, tornadoes, floods, hurricanes, but also a national emergency, and I think we all know, that's kind of looming in the background. But anyway, I'll show you what I do. And by the way, I hadn't brought this up before, but there are three types of advice I do not give: legal, financial, and medical advice. You need to approach the professionals about that, but I will share what I do and what I would be willing to do and what I have done. And maybe there's some value there, maybe not. But always, if you have any doubts, always seek professional, expert advice. Now I'll get a hold of the camera and I'll show you what I have laid out. And this is all very common sense, very easy to do yourself. And there's several approaches to this that we can do. So let me grab the camera and okay. Here's what I've got set up. Now here at the cottage I have a little bit of an advantage most people don't have, but we'll just jump right into this. Now if you want to spend the money, these type products, these canned products that are made by companies that sell these types of emergency preparedness foods, and they're very good. I've used them for several years and they last for up to 25 years. But they're expensive. So if you want to go that route, fine. If you don't, there's other ways we can do this, and I'll show you. I have a garden. Well, not every year, but most years I do. And if you have a garden, can what you grow. If you have stuff left over, can it up. This stuff will last many years. I've eaten food that I've canned up to 10 years later. Now, I do want to say this on this subject. When you open something you've canned, whether you do the boiling bath or the pressure cooker, either one, when you take the lid off, smell it, and if it does not smell like what it is, do not eat it. Another dead giveaway if something's spoiled, of course, is discoloration, but it'll be, you can have a domed, if botulism is setting in, it'll try to push this lid right off. And of course on these you can see they're nice and concave. But I have had spoilage in it, and you usually know it, believe me. But when you take that lid off, if it doesn't smell like what it should be, don't eat it. Don't take a chance. Now here's some things that last a good long time. There's no trick to it at all. Now this here is just pasta. It's egg noodles, and if you notice in here, I've got I do take the trouble to buy these because it will make these products last so much longer. You don't have to, but you can. They're oxygen scavengers or oxygen absorbers. And you can buy those from lots of different emergency preparedness places on the internet, and I'm sure there's some stores out there. Here's a gallon jar of mixed pasta. And now flour will stay good at least 2 years. I've had it stay good much longer, but if you keep it in the freezer, it'll stay fresh for at least 2 years. Now this here, you can buy these, there's several of these out on the market, and I have a couple different kinds. By the way, they're not all the same, and I'm not advocating any particular brand. I have two different varieties here, and you just need to well, what they are is they're food bars. This one here is 3,600 calories. This is 2,400, and they're made into a nice, neat well, the whole square you can break off. There's 9 in this one and 6 in this one. And they have, some of them are very pleasantly flavored, and both of these brands claim that you do not need water with them. I've used both of them, and my own personal opinion is yes, you do need water. They're flavored with a lemon flavoring that makes your mouth water, and the idea being that you salivate and quote-unquote don't need water, but I did anyway. Okay, this here is organic apple juice in a glass jar. A glass jug, and it will stay good if you will just keep it in a cool, dark place. It will stay. It's right now the expiration date's 3 years from now, so it stays good a good long time. Just keep it cool and you know, out of, you know, in the shade. Now here's something that you might think about. This is olive oil. I'm a big fan of olive oil, and for this reason, that not only does it have a good long shelf life, and I try to keep stocked up on it, several jars like this, but there's endless varieties out there. But you can also use it if you have olive oil lamps. You might come in real handy for emergency lighting. So keep that in mind. Also use, you know, a lot of peanut oil and a lot of soybean blends. So you know, there's some ideas out there. You know, just use your imagination. There's a lot of common sense things to do. This right here is oats. I keep lots and lots of oats, and I'll tell you something that most people probably wouldn't do, but I have had oats that were 20 years old, still perfectly good. And if you'll just keep them dry, keep them in a cool, dark place, they'll last a long time. And I'm not suggesting everybody eat 20-year-old oats, but I have, and it didn't kill me. So now right here is some, this wheat. This is whole wheat, red wheat. Interesting thing about that is, of course, it has a long shelf life. And to give you an idea of how long, they found, when they uncovered King Tut's tomb, they found wheat that was almost 4,500 years old. They planted it and it grew. Something I keep by the case is peanut butter. Now, I don't advocate any of these brands. I'm not advertising for anybody. Just whatever is your favorite. It has a good long shelf life and very high protein, very healthy. And I keep a couple of cases all the time. Now, getting into the non-food items, have a sewing kit. I mean, and you know, if it come right down to it, and you know, you couldn't buy clothes, you can at least repair the ones you have and know how to sew. Don't just have a kit and sewing machine. Know how to use them. It's also great fun, a great hobby. This here is something I think everybody should keep, and this, you can make these, you can put them in a baggie, but what this is what the dentist gives me when I go for the checkup twice a year, and I just hold on to the items that are pre-packaged, and I mean, that's a pretty good deal there in case you, you know, all of a sudden, in the case of a bad storm or something. Personally, I keep medicines in the big jar. Not only are they less expensive, the large count, but you know, you would have them for a good long time if need be. Also, strongly advise I buy the peroxide and alcohol in large containers, and then of course the first aid kit. I have several of these. And the thing about first aid, don't just have these kits. You need to go and have a first aid course at Red Cross, or even a community college, or just get the instruction book out and read it. But you need to know how to use, you need to know basic first aid and what to do in an emergency. Now this is something that I personally strongly advise if you live anywhere near a nuclear facility, and I happen to live 50 miles downwind from a nuclear facility, and it's potassium iodide, and they say that it will give you some protection from some types of cancer, particularly thyroid cancer. I have it. I would recommend that anybody that lives near a nuclear power plant have one. Okay, you'll need, anytime, you might find yourself needing emergency lighting. Not only do I got lanterns, I got flashlights, and make sure that make sure the batteries are good. I'm not going to do you one itty bitty bit of good if the batteries are dead. And I also have extra batteries. Now, also another good thing to have I have several camping stoves and different types. This propane, I keep this type of propane stored. Just in case might possibly need it. You never know. I also have the liquid fuel, the white gas type, but I have propane as well. I'm also emergency heating heaters that use this same thing, so that would be good in that case. Now, I think everybody should have squirreled away some detergent, a small container like this of detergent, and you can use any type of container. You could use a glass jar, whatever, but have some on hand. Now this device here, I'm sure a lot of y'all know what this is. Some of y'all probably don't. Looks like a plunger. Well, it's not. As a matter of fact, it's nothing new about this. Although this is the modern version, this is an agitator. All you need is a 5-gallon bucket, and you can wash clothes. You just agitate, just like your washing machine. And actually, they work quite well. As a matter of fact, there's a museum about 35 miles to the south of here that has one made out of tin. This is made out of plastic, but they have one that made out of tin, about 100 years old. So there's nothing new about this idea, but it actually works very well if you don't have any power, limited amount of water, and you got to wash some clothes. It works pretty well. Another thing you should have is some type of emergency mess kit. Now this here is it is just a camping kit, and I just keep it back just in case. You might have a storm blow through and you might need it. And then, of course, you'd use your camp stove for that, but also have spare plates, knives, forks, spoons. And, of course, I mentioned water. Well, here's my thing on water is I keep a 5-gallon jug and I keep fresh water. And the one thing I want to bring up about all of this, no matter what type of emergency preparedness setup you have, rotate your stock. And all that entails is the first stuff you buy, make it the first stuff you use and keep rotating it. But always have a stash, the same size of stash. One other thing that I want to mention too is have a cell phone of some kind. And I strongly recommend having some cash if you can. Have some spare cash, because if in the case of power outages, the facilities may not be able to take debit cards or maybe even checks, but cash is always hard to argue with. So that's kind of my idea. It's just a quick crash course on just some stuff that you can get by with for how long you got to get by with. I could go probably with my setup a long time, I'll say that. And I think everybody should do this, have some type of a setup. I have the beans, rice, flour, salt, all those things. I have them in 50-pound bags, but you can always divide them up, and it is better to need and not have. It's better to have and not need than need and not have any time. So let me get the camera set back up. Sorry it took so long to get back. I try to do these videos, at least every 2 weeks anyway. And we'll try to cover different subjects all the time. I hope this caused somebody out there to think, because there may come a time when this is, you may need it. At least have a month's supply, and that's easy to calculate. Have a month's supply of sundries and groceries. And I heard a statistic on the internet here a while back that said that the average person probably has a month's supply, not counting produce and dairy, probably have that much anyway. But be conscious of it. Think about it. The future is uncertain for all of us. But, the good Lord takes care of His people. There's no doubt about that. But the good Lord also expects you to act prudently. So consider these things, and if any of y'all got any ideas, I know, hey, we're here to share ideas and notions. If you're still on YouTube, before you go, type in Todd Agnew, Grace Like Rain. It's a very inspirational song, great artist, and I think you'll enjoy it. God bless all of you, and look forward to having you back. Thank you for having me as a guest in your home. See you at the next turn of the end.